Today I've got TopOak Overland's newest rooftop tent. So it's a new year, you know, a lot of companies are gonna be releasing their newest tent for 2025. This is called their Stellar tent. It is a traditional clamshell style tent. It's actually also called the Galaxy 2.0. If you guys remember on my channel about a year and a half ago, I actually reviewed TopOak Overland's very first rooftop tent. We reviewed it here on the channel. It was a really nice tent. And since then, they took all of the feedback from the community and they kind of upgraded it. So this thing's gonna have a lot of cool new features we're gonna go through today. I've also got Trailer Swift pulled in the shop because this is also a tent from TopOak Overland. This is called their Vision tent. I've done a full review on this tent a while back here on the channel, but I've got it set up in here because these are two completely different style tents. A lot of you guys reach out to me throughout the year when I do these tent reviews and ask me which style I prefer. Do I prefer the long clamshell style or do I prefer these more compact styles that fit directly over the bed of the truck? The truth is it's up to you and how you want to set up your rig. There are some pros and cons to each of these styles. This one is going to do and offer some things that this one doesn't and vice versa. So I want to do that today with you guys. Once we open up their new Stellar tent, we're going to go through it, go through all the specs, kind of set it up here in the shop side by side with this Vision tent, and then we'll walk through both of these, go over the specs of them, and you can kind of determine which style is best for you. If you're shopping for your very first rooftop tent, hopefully this video helps you out and you can kind of decide if you want to go with that traditional clamshell or if you want to go with something a little bit more compact. So I purposely left this thing in the crate today because I wanted to show you guys how they ship to you if you've never ordered a rooftop tent. TopOak Overland, I think this is my third tent that I have reviewed for that company, and their packaging just over the years has gotten better and better. I think everybody started out doing like cardboard boxes, but they realized the tents were probably getting more damage than they should have been in shipping, and now you can see this is solid wood. I mean, this thing shows up. It's even got feet down there where they can stand it up on end and it's shipped directly to your house. I actually got this one in less than a week from ordering it. Whenever they placed the order for this thing for me, I think I got it within less than a week. It actually goes to like a company in Birmingham. For me, I'm in Northeast Alabama. So this was sent to a company in Birmingham that kind of calls you ahead of time and schedules for someone to be there, you know, because they do have to show up and unload it off a big truck. But anyway, it shows up, it's in all wood, no damage to it whatsoever. And now we can open this thing up. I try to do it without making a mess in here. Usually once you get a corner started on these crates, you can kind of pull them up like that. There we go. If I don't knock it off my kayak cart, I've got it on my kayak cart right now. Let's see. There we go. Let me get this out of the way. You can see they already have a bunch of foam. Looks like there's some bubble wrap in there, but they got a really thick packaging, really thick foam. And then under the foam, you got some bubble wrap. And there is just absolutely, I don't want to say no way these tents can get damaged, but it would be really hard to damage one of these tents the way they ship them in the packaging. There's foam lining the edges. There's foam lining the sides. And it's also, as you can tell, completely wrapped in saran wrap. What I really like about this tent too is it comes with a rack that mounts on top of it in these little channels. Once I get it out of here, you'll be able to see it better. So you actually have a way to carry gear on top of it. So if you set this up on your trailer, if you're setting this up on the top of your SUV or on the top of your truck, you don't lose the ability to carry stuff on your rack. So if you're used to being able to throw luggage and stuff on your rack, you still get a rack with this tent, you know, plus you get the tent. So let's get this thing pulled out of here. So you can see I pulled that foam off the top there. I'll show you how thick this wood is. It's not super thick, but it's like, what is that, 1/4 inch plywood all the way around it. And then the bottom looks like it's actually a 1/2 inch or maybe even 3/4 of an inch. But you can see there's no way this thing is really gonna get damaged the way they package it in here. Unless just, you know, it falls off a truck or a forklift runs through it, it's gonna show up to your house exactly the way they packaged it. Here's the new tracks I was talking about. See these new tracks? It runs the full length of this top. And I believe we'll find, once we get in here and pop it open in a minute, we're gonna find the actual racks that go across, and you can slide them up and down those tracks. They've got a nice subtle logo on here. It's nothing that sticks out, nothing too loud, which I like. I'm not a big logo guy. If you know my Tacoma, you know I took just about every badge off my Tacoma. All right, that wasn't too bad at all. I got the crate over there. I just kind of slid the crate into the floor and tilted the tent up out of it and slid it on my kayak cart. Before we opened it though, I wanted to show you the new upgraded latches. So they got these new latches with the keyholes. The keys are actually zip tied to the handle here. But the way these work, as long as that lock is locked, and you can see the little lock back here, even if somebody was to try to open your tent, it's not gonna open unless these keys, you know, these locks are turned to the open position so you can actually open it. I thought that was pretty cool. They got places to hang the ladder to get in on the end here and on the side. So you can actually get in this tent either on the side of your vehicle or the back of your vehicle. It's got the struts on the side, the tracks on the top that I've already showed you. So now let's open this thing up. The ladder should be in here and some other stuff like the rack and everything like that. So let's open it up and check it out. All right, hopefully I got y'all back far enough where we can actually show this whole tent opened up in my limited space here in the shop. Let me get some cutters to cut this zip tie. And you get 2 keys with this, it looks like. Set one of them here. You just turn the locks down on them. And before I open it, let me get a measurement, because I know a lot of you guys are gonna ask the actual measurement of this thing. And this is just gonna be a rough estimate. So if I go right in there, it looks like the box itself without the struts is about 56 inches wide. So if you counted the struts, you'd probably be right around 57, 58 inches total width. And then the length is gonna be roughly, where's that at? If I'm hooked there, go up to there. Looks like the width is gonna be around 82 to 83 inches long, which that's actually a pretty long tent. I don't know how long the one is I've currently got on my truck, but we're gonna be swapping these out soon, and we'll kind of put those two side by side too in an upcoming video and try them out. Well, let's go ahead and pop this thing open. I hope I got it balanced good. So these struts should assist it in opening. There we go. Can y'all see this whole thing, or do I need to back y'all up? Y'all can kind of see it. Let me back you up just a little bit. It looks like it's also the same fabric as the Vision tent, the same color fabric anyway. On camera, I think it looks a little bit more blue than it actually is. It's more of a, kind of a darker gray in person. You pull your little strap down. Screen door here. All right, yeah, this has got a huge pop out in the front. As you can see, it's also got a skylight. So let me set it up, and then I'll walk you guys around it and show you the inside a little bit closer. Here is the top tracks that I was talking about. So these are the tracks that are gonna go across the top. I'm gonna set them to the side for now. And what we got on the inside is we got a couple of boot bags that hang on the side of the tent. We got our ladder in a bag, which is really good. I love that they started putting their ladders in bags, because there's a lot of times you go camping and your ladder gets dirty while you're there and you don't want to throw it back in on your mattress. And it looks like the ladder is all black. Yep, all black ladder. I like that. I'm gonna leave it in the bag for now. So you get your bag. What else we got? We got our poles here for our windows. I guess rain flies that go over the windows and the door. You get all the hardware you need to mount it to your truck and the hardware for the top rack. And we'll stick that on in a little while. I'll set it over here with the rack stuff. And then you get a bag of, okay, this is the stuff to mount it to your truck. So there's everything you need to mount it to your truck. And there's a remote in here. Oh, this has built-in LED lights. So there's an actual remote in here for the LED lights. That's pretty cool. I didn't know that was in here. We'll have to check those lights out. This thing actually has a lot more room than I was expecting. I think they've changed the angle of these. They used to come down lower. I think now this thing opens up way higher and it gives you a lot more room in here. So let me pop everything out really quick so I can walk y'all through it and show you the inside. There's some really cool stuff they've added to the inside of this tent, which is gonna be great, especially when solo camping. All the extra storage that's in there. They've added a bunch of little pockets to hold gear and stuff like that. I love that. I think the Vision's the same way, yeah. The poles are all black, so they did all black poles for everything. A lot of the cheaper tents on the market, you'll see they come with like a copper colored, cheap, almost like a coat hanger looking color for their poles. TopOak has been doing these black ones for a while now, and I like it. It looks like you can change the angle of this. So this will go here. That. Look at that, that's a big rain fly. All right, I got it completely popped open, and the first thing I noticed was how big these rain flies are over the windows. That is a lot bigger than before, which is really great, especially if you're gonna be camping up in the mountains or you think you're gonna get a little bit of rain. Having those to keep water out is awesome. You've got the boot bags, they slide right in the groove, right at the door, and you can actually slide them anywhere you want all the way around this tent to kind of keep your boots in or your shoes in so you don't track mud in and out of the tent. I noticed a few upgrades on this tent that I did not realize were even part of this tent. I'll try to show you over here. One of them that I was really excited to see was this little porthole right here. Look at that. So this is something that companies are starting to add to tents because more and more people are using air conditioners and heaters. And instead of trying to cram your heater hose in the window and zip around it or the door, they're adding these portholes where I can open this up, stick the heater hose in there, you know, if it's the winter, or the AC hose in there if it's the summer, without having to, you know, have an extra window open or zipped around or anything like that. So that was really cool to find. I didn't even know that was there. Also, the mattress. Look at the thickness of this mattress. That is huge. Now, I know if you're not a rooftop tent guy or if you never slept in one, you're probably thinking, that's not huge. But the one I sleep on at home is way bigger. For a rooftop tent, that mattress is super thick. I like that a lot. There's a wick mat up under that and a felt pad up under that on top of the aluminum floor. The inside has pockets all over the place. You got pockets over there, pockets across that little bungee wall back there. And then there's also some pockets up here by the door, right there. Got a nice skylight that you can actually close. And what's really cool about TopOak's fabric is the inside is completely black. So when everything is shut, this tent is super dark, very easy to sleep in at night. The roof is covered in fabric, so you don't have to worry about condensation buildup. And the lights, let's see, there's the power cord right here. You got a little inline remote. You've also got a wireless remote because the lights are right across there. And I think you can just use this remote to change the colors. There's like a blue, a yellow. Well, there's the yellow. There's the more clear, and then the more blue. This thing is awesome. All right, so now let's compare these two tents, the new Stellar tent versus their Vision tent. These are two different style tents now, completely different. Like I said at the beginning of the video, this is gonna have some pros that this one don't, but this one's gonna have some pros that this one don't. So let's go over the Stellar first. This is the traditional clamshell style, so that means it is instant setup. There's really no pop outs or fold outs other than this little pole that you shove out and lock into place on the inside to extend your headspace. This sets up itself. You just undo the latches and you've seen that you just push up on it and it kind of just opens up and does what it's supposed to do. All you got to do is add your little rainfly poles around it. This is also really low profile. This is a super thin top. I believe the dimensions online say that it is 8 inches thick completely shut. So if you only have a little bit of space above your vehicle, if you need to park inside of your garage, or if you got a low space that you need to park your vehicle and you can't afford to go really thick, this is a super low profile compact tent that basically sets up instantly when you get out in the woods. 1 or 2 people fits great in these. Me and my wife have slept in tents this size several times and they work just great. Now this tent, this is the Vision tent. I'm not gonna go into a ton of detail on this tent in this video. If you're interested in this tent, check my homepage. I've got a full unboxing, just like we did with the Stellar today, on the Vision tent. It's a lot more compact. And when I say compact, I mainly just mean shorter, so that this will fit directly over the bed of your truck without having to stick off the back or stick over the cab. So it's a lot more short this way, but that means it's also a lot thicker. This, when it's completely shut, is very, very thick. I don't even know if I could get I could get a rough measurement. It's gonna be close to a foot thick. So it's a good 4, maybe 5 inches thicker than this tent when that one is shut. So it's a lot thicker, but like I mentioned, it's more compact and it's more, you know, easier to conceal just over the bed of your truck if you don't have the headroom to park. Now, when this is popped out, it actually, after, you know, kind of putting these side by side, there is a lot more room in here. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go ahead and pull a tape. We'll do the Stellar first on the inside. So this is just the bed that I'm gonna measure, so you kind of get a gist of how much room you got to sleep, especially for you taller guys. So the full length is 79 inches. So that is what, 6 foot 7 inches, and that's length. Let me do the width. And then for width, you've got 53 inches wide. So that's still, to be a super compact, low profile tent, that is a big sleeping space. But this one, when it's popped out, this tent is actually huge, by the way. If you haven't seen the video where I review this tent, definitely go check it out. So this tent is 7 feet long, just for the mattress. And that's sleeping space. That's not like the full tent. That's just me measuring the floor. I got 7 foot long, and then let me go kind of the widest position right in here. Looks like it's about 66 inches wide. So when this is popped open, this is a much bigger tent. It's a much longer and wider tent when it's popped open, but this one also does not set up as quickly or as easily as this one. Now this is still a real easy tent to set up. I'm not gonna say it takes forever. You know, this one is just one of those instant 2 latches, push up and you're done. This one does have to kind of tri-fold. So you have to fold this floor back over onto itself, and then you pull the top down and latch everything down. So this is just a one and done. You push the top up on it and you're good to go. This one you gotta set up, and you've also gotta make sure that you've got the room beside your vehicle to set up, because this sticks off of the vehicle, and I'm pretty centered in the bed there. But you're thinking you need at least 2.5 feet just to be able to pop the bottom open off the side of the vehicle. So keep that in mind when you're looking at these. If you go a lot and you just wanna run and gun, get out there, pop it open and go fishing and then go sleep in your tent, these are great, especially for you solo guys out there. And I think the price is usually a lot better on these clamshell styles versus these other ones. I guess I can go ahead and show you how easily it is to shut these tents up too. So you pull your poles out that holds your rain fly open. You can put your ladder in here, and you can also put your bedding in here and your pillows, as long as you ain't got, you know, a pile of comforters and stuff to pile up in there. If you kind of spread it all out, you can shut all of your sleeping gear in here and it'll be ready to go. You don't have to pack it separately. Once you pull your stuff out, you shut your top by pulling your poles in. And now you've got your long, really long pull down strap right here that goes across. This is for if it's really high up on your vehicle, you got a lot of extra room. We'll fold this pole back, and now we're just gonna pull it down. You've got this extra helping bungee here that you pull up. It helps pull your fabric in as you pull it down, so you don't have to constantly walk around the tent and kind of tuck it in. As you can see how it kind of pulls it in for you. Just like that. You got your pole that lays flat. And that is it. Make sure you don't have any fabric sticking out. There's a really thick rubber gasket all the way around this that you want to seal up really good once you're shut. And to keep the weather out, I forgot to pull my shoe bags out. Let me pull them out really quick and throw them in there. And just like that. And you latch it down. Now we'll put those top racks across the top and get them adjusted where we need them. Get this thing ready to put on the truck. All right, so here is everything that was in that little brown box for the top 2 racks. And I think I was wrong. These new tracks that they added on the top, I think those are just for adding other accessories. So you can add other different things to the top. They just kind of incorporated their own little track system that goes across the top. You actually mount your top racks, these 2 rails, that they're still completely adjustable from one end to the other, and they've got a built-in T-track on the top. So you can also put like bicycle racks and stuff like that on top of here if you wanted to run on top of your tent. You got that option to be able to put different aftermarket stuff on here if you wanted to. But you use these 2 brackets, 2 of these, one on each end of the pole, and you got all the hardware you need. It even comes with a ratchet wrench, number 13. This is for mounting everything to the bottom of your rack on your truck, or actually installing the tent. And you get your Allen head. And it's really simple to install these. I'll put one on really quick and show you, and then we'll just buzz through the rest of this. So these tracks on the side, as you can see, I just put 2 of those nuts down in there, and they come with these black mushroom head Allen bolts. And these actually are going to cleanly mount on your truck or on the side of the tent. I'm trying to do this backwards so I can actually show you how I'm doing it. Just like this. And then once you get it there, you can loosen this just a little bit. And this is what makes it so you can slide these racks anywhere up here you want to, because the rack is then gonna mount to this just like this. It comes with all the hardware you need, and they'll mount there. And then they got these caps that you pop on the end to give it a clean look. So let me bolt all this stuff down really quick. I'm not gonna bore you and make you watch me put every one of these bolts and nuts on, and then I'll show you how it looks with the rack completely installed. All right, that should do it. That was actually way quicker than I thought. I've got them locked in. I just kind of measured 20 inches off the end. You can put these anywhere you want, like I mentioned. I actually, when I was locking them down, I thought about putting them both down here and adding me one of those Yakima roof racks, those baskets, so I could hop up on the tailgate and put more luggage up here. And that would clear me up a huge area up here to utilize these new tracks they got in the roof to add maybe some solar panels. So that would be really, really cool. Y'all stay tuned. If you're new to my channel and you're not familiar with it, I'm building out a Toyota Tacoma into kind of like an Overland setup. And my plan is this week, the next video probably, I'm gonna pull my whole Overland rack in the studio, and I'm gonna swap my tents out. I've got my old tent on there now. I'm gonna swap it out for this new Stellar tent. We're gonna add the Kingpin lights. I've got a new aux beam control system that's gonna operate all my lights. We're gonna get water added up to it. Maybe go ahead and throw some solar panels up here and get it all set it up and go out and field test it. So if you're new to my channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Stay tuned for those videos. I upload every Monday at 6 p.m. If you're interested in anything that you've seen here today, check the video description. I will have links and promo codes that'll save you some money at checkout. Go check out TopOak tents. These are really nice tents. The quality is good. We have used these before. We've used this one once. We used the other one a lot, and I can't wait to take this new Stellar out. So stay tuned. I will catch you guys next Monday at 6 p.m. Peace.